Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to yet another Destiny 2 video, and today we're taking a look at the top 3 best Crucible loadouts for this meta right now. It's no surprise that with the update ahead of the Forsaken expansion, things have changed very drastically, and I am not the only person out here that has been struggling these past few days to adapt to the new meta. I mean, I seriously thought I was gonna, take maybe one day to adapt, but no, this is a completely different game. It almost feels like we're playing Destiny 3, and so obviously I have ran into some obstacles, but you know what? I said yesterday that I was gonna screw it. I was gonna try out all these new weapons. I was gonna ask my buddies, my clanmates, what they thought, and this is kind of the list that I came up with and the 3 loadouts. So starting off at the first one, we have the Valiant in the primary slot, we have the Inaugural Address in the secondary, and we have the Darcy in slot number 3. This is a loadout that really kind of feels great for me, and I think it's perfect because I have been somebody who has loved pulse rifles for a very long time. I'm not the type of person that likes a auto rifle or something that is very spam heavy. I definitely like picking my shots, and so pulse rifle lets me do that very effectively, and it just has fantastic range and damage values across the board. I also like that I basically have every single range covered. If I'm using my shotgun, then obviously I'm covered at the close distance. My Darcy covers the very long distance, and the Inaugural Address covers everything in the middle, so I really can't be beat at any distance so long as I'm using the correct weapon. In my opinion, the Valiant is the best shotgun in the game in the primary slot that takes special weapon ammo. Reason being is because it feels a lot more consistent compared to a lot of the other shotguns in the game that right now just don't feel very consistent whatsoever. Now obviously, you can't compare this thing to something like the Legend of Acris because that is a power weapon. It takes power ammo, it's in the heavy slot, and generally those do a lot more damage, have more range, and just are way more powerful. So this thing felt great before the update, and it still feels great now after its move to the primary slot. The Darcy is another weapon that I want to talk about very briefly. This thing is an animal, and in my opinion, it is hands down the best sniper in the game. I don't care if you're looking at blue weapons, legendaries, or exotics, I think it is the best, period. And to show you guys that, let me show you a bunch of clips that I've hit with the Darcy. I usually don't like showing off clips that I've hit, mostly because, I use them for montages and stuff like that, but I'm just gonna roll the reel here so you guys can enjoy some of these clips. If you like them, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Thank you very much. And yeah, last thing I want to talk about is the Inaugural Address. This thing is a beast. It's got outlaw and kill clip, which means after you get a kill, wait a few seconds, hit the reload, and you will have yourself a 2-burst headshot machine that feels a lot like a Destiny 1 weapon. Next up, for the second loadout, we have something that's more familiar to me, I would say. We have the Dire Promise, the Telesto, and the Sins of the Past. This is a very fun loadout, probably the most fun that I've had in the Crucible for a very long time, and the most important thing is that it's effective. It's not just fun, it's very good. So the Dire Promise is something that obviously I'm very used to. I've been using it for quite a long time now before the update, and even though it feels like hand cannons got a little bit nerfed with this update, something with the aim assist or the stability or recoil patterns, something's off with hand cannons, and I think Bungie might be addressing it in the very near future before Forsaken launches. So that's why I have the Dire Promise in the primary slot. It is my favorite hand cannon and will continue to be my favorite hand cannon. And then the Telesto in the secondary slot is something that's pretty brand new for me. I've never really used this thing before the update, and honestly I've been missing out because this thing is so awesome. It's so much fun just shredding people, and it's really good against supers as well. The one thing that I love is that it's probably the only weapon in the game that actually feels like a power weapon, but it's in your secondary slot. I don't have that feeling with grenade launchers or snipers in the secondary slot that take kinetic. Telesto is the only thing that truly feels like a power weapon that doesn't belong in the secondary slot, and it just makes you feel super OP, and so that's why I love it a lot. This clip right here is a great example of that. I get so many kills with the Telesto and the Dire Promise. it's almost not even fair. And then finally, we got Sins of the Past in the heavy slot. This thing is very consistent. It takes out large groups of enemies, and the thing I love about it is the cluster bombs that it drops afterwards. Not only that, but they actually buffed rockets to have 2 when you pick up power ammo instead of just 1 shot. So now you can get multiple multi-kills with just 1 power ammo brick in these Sins of the Past. So I'm personally a big fan of this loadout. It was the most fun out of the 3, like I mentioned earlier, and yeah, I would definitely recommend it. One thing I forgot to mention is that the Telesto is actually capable of getting multi-kills if somebody's right beside the other person or if he's slightly weak. I've gotten a few instances where I shot and it connected on one person and I just so happened to get a double kill with it, and it's pretty nice honestly because you're getting 2-for-1s and stuff like that. Now Telesto is one of those weapons that a lot of people right now are kind of mad at. I would say it's one of those like cheesy weapons. It's almost like the Fighting Lion, right? Before the update came out, everybody was kind of mad at people who were using Fighting Lions, and the Telesto's kind of in the same boat right now where some people consider it a cheap weapon, but it's honestly so much fun that I'm not even too concerned about it. You know, it seems pretty balanced in terms of its range. You know, it can't map people from miles away unless you're on PC, because obviously, you know, the recoil and stuff on PC is a lot different, but on PS4 it seems pretty balanced, and overall it's a fun weapon. So use it. If people call you broken and you get hate messages, it is what it is, man. Enjoy the game, have some fun with it. Moving on to the third loadout, and this is the final one, we have something a little bit different here. We got the Vigilance Wing. This is a weapon that a lot of you know far too much of. We got the Summer Lead in the secondary and the play of the game in the power weapon slot. What I have to recommend right now to you guys is that if you don't like any of the specific loadouts, feel free to mix and match. Like I mentioned earlier, if you want the play of the game, but in the, you know, first loadout that I mentioned, feel free to do that. You know, if you're not a sniper, you can put the play of the game in there, you can put a rocket launcher in there, really mix it up. But these are the 9 weapons that I would really recommend because they're all so powerful. Summer Lead's another one of those shotguns that feels more or less consistent compared to the others. It's always been a fan favorite for shotgunners that, you know, use them extensively. And then the Vigilance Wing is a weapon that is very good right now. It actually can two-burst people more often than not, and it feels a lot more forgiving compared to before the update. Obviously with the masterwork, this thing is a beast. And then the play of the game, this weapon's just dumb. Look at this clip right here, guys. I'm gonna leave it at that. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed, a like rating would be very much appreciated. Look out for the second upload today, and have yourselves a great day. Take care, guys. Peace.